can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Make a wish. You can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Make a wish. You can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Make a wish.
You're looking live at a racetrack known as the Green Hell. A whole bunch of corners through the mountains of Western Germany, the Nürburgring, probably the top testing ground for automotive manufacturers. Not only do all the European car companies test here, but other models as well. See JP Alfonso earlier. Now one of the drivers has parked it. Qualifying just on. Round number 5, LATAM GP Open Summer Series. I'm Jamie Maudsley, my co-host Jordan Maudsley. Joining me on the broadcast there, you see the map of the combined course for round 5. 19 degrees temperature, so the track's not going to be super hot today. Looks like the forecast is right in the 18, 19 degrees, so a lot of grip on this very, very fast racetrack, Jordan.
Well, I mean, I did ask a couple of the drivers beforehand what they're most worried about. A lot of them, they said qualifying. Obviously, with these being longer than 8-minute laps, you're only going to have enough time to get one full lap in. So a lot of these drivers were worried about being able to put up a quick time on full tires with only one shot at it. Obviously, you drop a tire and you're starting at the back.
This place, though, like the Darlington, if you will, of sports car racing, this is the track that is too tough to tame. You and I competed in a 24-hour race here a few months ago. There's no good places to pass. There's a lot of corners, and it's very easy to chew up race cars here.
Yeah, I found real quick in testing, not a lot of great places to pass, but there are a lot of great places to crash. And I tested pretty much every safer barrier around this place leading up to that race. This map just goes through cars, and the big drama we had last time we were here in the last series was pit stops, because that became an issue very quick for some of these drivers.
Yeah, it was Alex Trevor who had the race under control back in the spring series. Missed his pit run. There you see Juan Salazar, the Florida Flash, our spring champ, working through the hills right now on his lap, but halfway through qualifying right now. These drivers getting one crack at this circuit, and a great title contentions, great title battle, point championship battles in both divisions. Tyler Campbell, 178 points. Juan Salazar, right here, the Florida Flash, sitting second in points at 170. Definitely still in contention. And the consistency of the Coral Gables Florida driver. A big win first night out. Also picked up a victory week 3. A second, a third, and a fifth to go along with it.
Salazar here being careful to keep all 4 tires on the track at all times. It's just about putting down one lap. We saw Tyler Campbell. He was sitting patiently waiting to start his lap. Not sure if he's going to be able to get a full lap in, because we were about 3 minutes into the qualifying. Here we watch Alex Trevor as he works his way through the graffiti.
And that is the last left-hander. So when you hit that corner, the good news is that the lap is almost over. This place is one challenging racetrack. Now let's make his way through the final couple corners here, and then out onto the long straight, headed back towards pit road. Oh, maybe I had him at the wrong carousel. You can see the overhead view, Alex Trevor in that Porsche. Now that is not the new Porsche. The new Porsche that just came out in iRacing, that was for the GT3 cars. Trevor in the GTE category. 130 points overall, so well back in championship contention. It would take a miracle and some bad luck for both Campbell and Salazar to drop the ball and put Trevor back in championship contention. And most of it stems from that 32nd place finish on night number 1 On the flip side, 3 races so far, of the 4 so far in the series, he was your pole winner, including a pole and a checkered flag last week at Monza.
Definitely got to be the favorite to pick up the pole tonight. He was the fastest when we were here in the spring. He works his way through the tail end of this track. That's the final left-hander right there. As he works his way down the hill, looking to turn his lap time. Christian Sanchez now in that GT3 car.
Sanchez second in points, 2 points back of Walters coming into tonight. And Sanchez has been on a roll, winner last 3 weeks in GT3. But it hasn't been easy. Walters and Diaz have been every bit as quick as the 23 of Sanchez. He's just been able to finish the deal, other than at our season opener where he recorded the 28th place finish. He's also been the #1 qualifier in the GT class every single week except week 2. So Sanchez in the Lambo.
We got a couple of times coming in now. Juan Salazar, the first car to break the 8-minute barrier. Luis Grullion, 3.5 seconds behind that. Alex Trevor is coming in a full 5.5 seconds off the pace. He's been lined up third so far. Another 15 seconds back from that to D'Alessandro. JP Alfonso rides the pole in the GT3 series as more times start pouring in.
So it looks like Alfonso able to go, but he's got the pole in GT3 by 25 seconds right now. There he is.
Christian Sanchez just had an off track, so he's not going to get a qualifying run. Only about 6 cars completed their laps.
So the timer winding down. How about that? Salazar, Grillon, and Trevor, your front 3. D'Alessandro, Vicaras, Campbell Dominguez, Fernando Jaquez. And then you've got Michael Spohr in the 9th place, Anthony James 10th, Kevin Ayers 11th, David Sharp in 12th, Mercedes in 13th.
JP Alfonso with the de facto pole as the only driver to complete a lap. Hewitt on the outside of that row. Sanchez and Walters behind them.
Hey, we'll welcome in our GTE pole sitter, Juan Salazar, top of the chart, my friend.
Yeah, that made it work this time.
Not too many guys turn laps. It's so easy to have off tracks here, isn't it?
It's very easy to die around here, actually. Yeah.
How much do you race the other guys, or how much, or when do you start racing the other guys, as opposed to how much do you race the track the whole time?
Well, you're really racing the track. There's only a couple of spots here where you can pass, maybe in the GP circuit, and then on the straightaway. That's about it,
Right on. Well, we'll let you get back into race mode. Thanks for joining us, and good luck in the feature.
Thanks, Jamie.
Real quick, we'll welcome in our 3rd place qualifier, Alex Trevor.
Come on, guys. Good night. Good evening.
Alex, obviously a 3rd place finish there. Did something happen on that lap, or do you just have some speed you got to find coming into the race?
I honestly have not had a lot of time to put in for testing this week. This is a huge track to make a short turnaround, and just real life stuff that gets in the way, and so we'll figure it out.
Now, you don't start behind the first row a whole lot. What is the plan going into turn 1, lap 1?
Looks like Juan's got this track figured out, so I think I'll follow him for a little bit and see if I can save some fuel and try to squeeze something out.
Well, good luck out there, sir. Have a good race.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
There's third place qualifier, Alex Trevor. Field just working through the final couple corners. And then we will turn them loose, and again, a tough racetrack. 20 some odd miles long, close to 100 curves, a lot of them blind.
They're off. The field stacks up as they enter into turn 1. Looks like Salazar got a decent lead. We got a car around. That was a Red Bull car. Looks like that was Grulian. He's going to drop to the back of the GTE cars. Dominguez is going to lose a couple spots as well. He's fighting with Jaquez is on screen. D'Alessandro has dropped into 3rd. Tyler Campbell runs back here in 5th now, as he separated himself from cars out front and behind. As the whole field works through the tail end of the GP section before they get out into the main course.
This is the Grand Prix section of the course, so if you've ever seen the movie Rush, this was the track that F1 basically doesn't race on anymore because it became far too dangerous for the speeds these cars were going. This is the portion of the track that they built to be the actual F1 course. So this meets F1 Grade 1 standards. And this is where the German Grand Prix is hosted in a rotation with Hockenheim, one of the tracks added to the circuit this year. Now we're going to pass, looks like, for the lead in GT3 going on Sanchez, or at least putting the heat on JP Alfonso. Alfonso having a great season here. Oh, as he scooted wide, might have just gave the spot away, knowing how fast Sanchez is, winner of 3 of the last 4 races, as now they start to work down the hill.
Sternhagen's back there. He's in the hunt, running 3rd in GT3 right now. He's got Fernando Jaquez hot on his heels. Jaquez obviously had an early spin, but he's back and rolling again, looking to get past these GT3 cars and get back into the mix.
Racing machine.
JP Alfonso still sticking with Sanchez there, and JP Alfonso finds himself in the wall. He's going to lose a mess of positions. Looks like he'll come back out on the track 4th in class, 17th overall. And Fernando Jaquez manages to get by all 3 of those GT3 cars all at once there. He moves up into the bottom position out of the GTE class. And looks like JP Alfonso has dropped back to 18th now, but he's collected himself. He's back on the prowl as we follow Mark Walters. He's 3rd, right behind Sternhagen and Sanchez.
Yeah, if there's any guy who's going to... The 2 guys battling for the GT championship right now, definitely Walters and Sanchez. Those 2 are top in class, and Diaz has been right there with him. You see it's Sternhagen having a solid outing here. Tells Zach's been practicing. He's got that black coffee rifle library machine flying. There's Alfonso in the middle of a 3-car battle. Andrew Hewitt and Knight.
Hewitt out front, blinking. Knight behind. These 3 run nose to tail. Freight train through the hills here as they come into the second half of this first lap. That gold Ferrari leading the charge.
Hewitt's second season out in the LATM GP series. Leading the way on Alfonso, and you wonder how good a shape that car is in. And there's a
That's
portion of the
Anthony
wall,
James off the track on the right side right there.
and he's being towed right now.
Anthony James in that yellow 216 car. Just slowed and took it off to the right. Wonder if something happened before that, although the car doesn't look damaged at all. Or potentially something non-race related. Either way, he's on pit road right now. As we move up to Christian Vicara. He runs third right now. He's got Tyler Campbell filling up his rearview mirror.
And did get a report about a third of the way through the course. I don't know how to describe it. It's a downhill where you head into one of the tight left-handers. Anthony James binned it. And when we actually saw him on camera there, that was him trying to get rolling. And then he finally just parked it. Gonna wait for some assistance to the pits. Tyler Campbell, point leader. I haven't talked much about Tyler here tonight. Seattle Washington driver. First go around on tour with us and point leader as we look back to now the battle for GT3. And how about Sternhagen? He's checked out on these two. Opens up about a 2-second lead on Sanchez, who's got Walters in his back pocket.
JP Alfonso is following these two very closely too. He takes a look to the left. Alfonso looking to make a move here. He's going to fall back in line for now. Sticks with him. JP Alfonso gets by on the left side. Mark Walters slides back in position as he takes up fourth in class now.
I'll tell you, I've been so impressed by the job Mark Walters does behind the wheel of that black Porsche. And I'm sure he has a game plan. Kind of moved over, gave JP the way to go through. We'll see what he does here. It's going to be impressive to see how this championship battle turns out. He's got a 2-point lead over Christian Sanchez coming into this evening. Race number 5 of 6 on the series. Still looking for that first win. But the way you lead the points is 3 second place finishes and a 4th through the first 4 races of the season.
The way you really lead the points, if we're looking at it from a technical aspect, just if you have a good pit stop, you're almost guaranteed a top 3 at that point, because we have seen so many mistakes be made on pit road. He's sitting back there 4th. He's got 2 of these cars right in front of him. Zach's another 4 seconds ahead of them. And don't look now, but looks like Christian Sanchez is just taking that spot. Zachary Sternhagen has dropped back to 5th now, out of the lead. Something happened to that car.
Yeah, definitely something happened to Sternhagen as he was chasing his first feature win in GT3.
He's dropped all the way back to 20th overall. Something definitely happened there, but now Walters sits 3rd with Alfonso and Sanchez right in front of him. That's got to be a good place to be right now.
Tyler Campbell, the Seattle Washington driver now. Chasing down Vicaras. And this is where they again start back into the Grand Prix portion of the track. Lapping the book for the leaders. And Salazar for a 5-second lead right now.
Salazar and Trevor, both of them checked out. They've stretched out these front 3 over about 10 seconds. Campbell still all over the back bumper of Vicaras for 3rd here.
There's Grillion making a pass after his lap 1, turn 1 roundabout. It bounced it off the right side wall. Give Grillion 6 in that Red Bull Porsche.
He has battled back well, dropped all the way to 12th. 13th, I believe, battled his way all the way back up to 6th, and he's still moving. He's got another 5 seconds till he catches D'Alessandro, but he is closing that gap down. Back here to Ray Dominguez. He's 8th overall in this GTE car.
And tough break for Grillion. He was right in the thick of the point battle, finishing 4th and 8th. But unable to make the event in Monza. Didn't make his connection out of Rome, I believe. And tough break for the driver who would have been in the thick of the points battle for sure. Having a great season. One of the stars of the LATAM GP series. Just need to get him out every week, and if he does, I'm telling you, there's no reason he can't be one of those guys with a name on championship total championship trophy at the end of the season.
Alex Trevor is slowly reeling in Juan Salazar. He's picked up about almost a full second over the last 2-3 minutes to close that gap down out front. Alex Trevor has nobody out his windscreen, nobody in the rear view mirrors, running truly all by himself through the hills.
There you see Salazar. Trevor's got a little glimpse of him every once in a while. But the Florida Flash has taken over in this one. Putting the pedal to it and getting after it. David Barnes on pit road, Anthony James on pit road, and Donnie Hot Rod also on pit road. That's the story from the pits right now. There's Fernando Jaquez, sitting 9th overall. Anthony James has posted a DNF. Well, we know we can't bother the guys while they're racing, but I don't see any reason why we can't chat with them while they're on pit road, waiting to get their cars fixed. Donnie York, you still there? Oh, he must have slipped out for a minute. We'll wait and see if Don joins us. And Anthony James has left the building. Everybody else still running, and most of the cars looking pretty clean. There's Dominguez out of Pennsylvania. Driver from the Keystone State, sitting 9th right now and getting after Fernando Jaquez. But it was Fernando who must have made the pass on him because he was behind the last we checked in on this duo.
Yeah, these two have gone back and forth 3 or 4 times in the last few minutes.
The other guy coming under fire is the guy driving in 3rd, Todd Campbell. And we'll see if does Don York return to the mic. And we'll see what if he gets back. We'll get a word with him, find out how the action is out there.
We're following Tyler Campbell now, and he's being followed by Christian Vicara.
Yeah, this is that battle for 3rd.
About 10 car lengths separates these two right now. Obviously, teammates Trevor and Campbell running second and third so far. And a full 11 seconds separating the top three.
And the kicker, just to let you know how big this place is, we're still working on lap 2, Jordan.
Almost a full 15 minutes in. Move back to the battle back here in GT3. This is Walters and Sanchez. And they're about 5 seconds behind Alfonso. He's checked out from this battle for second. Alfonso leads the GT3s.
How about that, Alfonso, with the lead and a 5 second advantage, especially after he bounced the thing off the wall earlier, and it was a pretty hard shot.
He's proven he's got enough speed in that car, but we've seen him make a mistake, and that 5 second lead can go away with just one error. Another thing that these guys got to look out for, there is a 1 point penalty for having 5 X's in an event. That could come into play big time here, as we see Knight all over the back bumper of Walters there.
That was close. Walters almost got into to the Lambo there. Very close.
Yeah, a lot of drivers were worried about that off-track penalty, so we'll see how that plays out throughout the race here. 16 minutes into this 45-minute endurance race. And the leaders have just completed lap number 2.
So we're back into the Grand Prix portion of the track and the stadium portion. Very, very solid layout. And I'm telling you, I think Mark Walters has figured this place out. And I would say that right now he might have a little more pace than Sanchez. The question is, what can you do with him, and where do you make the move?
And if you can make that move, does he have enough pace to come up and pick up Alfonso? Even in the 2 minutes we've been following this battle here, he stretched out another 2 seconds on that lead, up by about 7.5 seconds now, leading the GT3s.
JP Alfonso, the Atlanta-based driver.
Aside from that, another thing to think about, do you make your pit stop early? Do you make it late? As they're all going to have mandatory pit stops here.
Yeah, it looks like Dominguez is going to be the first one on pit road. Ray Dominguez. And I believe he was 9th when he made that pit stop. There's Sanchez. Going to dive down pit road. So the leader of GT3 on pit road on lap number 2.
Yeah, Sanchez is running second in class. Takes his long trip down this pit road. And this is where we've seen the most mistakes at this track. Here's Jorge Apex, who now runs 4th in class.
Now I want to see what happens between Sanchez and Walters here for second place in the division. Usually a guy running second will pit before the guy running first, or in this case, the driver running third will pit before the driver running second. Try to get that fuel, get your stop done, get out there, run a lap or two at a little faster pace than the guy you were following. That way, theoretically, when he makes his pit stop, takes the same amount of time to do the same service. He comes out, if you've ran a couple faster laps, you can pick up a spot doing that. Pitting is the one out front. I don't know what you call that. Is that the overcut, Jordan? So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be interesting to play out. You saw Zach Sternhagen on pit road.
Yeah, I believe Walters used that strategy a few races ago at the Red Bull Ring, I believe it was, where he stayed out 1 extra lap, maybe 2, turned some of the fastest laps of the race and wound up with the lead after that. Fortunately, he had a little error on pit road, didn't quite take enough gas and had to give it up come the final laps.
so far for Walters in 8:37. That's not for Sanchez in 8:44. But that being said, obviously lap 1, Sanchez in heavy traffic at the start of the race. And then as well did not complete lap 2 before ducking down pit road. There's Sanchez, 17th right now. But again, he's got his service out of the way.
We've only got 17 cars left on the track. Dominguez, Sternhagen, Henriquez, Shift Sim Racing, Anthony James, Barnes, and Donnie Harrod all out of the race so far. Only 17 left on this 20-plus mile track.
We'll see if Zach's still got his headset on. Zach, are you with us?
I am.
That Black Rifle Coffee Lambo was flying out there tonight. We never saw on TV what happened to you. What did end up costing you a trip to pit road here?
Well, so I spun out once trying to follow a GTLM through a corner, and I thought I could go faster than what I could, and the back end went around on me. But I didn't hit anything then. But on the second lap, I was on the second main straightaway, and I went through the dog leg, where you're supposed to be going through fifth gear, and I just barely got the grass on the outside, and that sent me into the wall and gave me a meatball flag.
What are you looking at before you can get back out there?
I have 23 more minutes of sitting on pit road.
So you're in for a while, but hey, you never know. Those points
Yep.
could be valuable if you might pick up a spot or two late.
Yep.
Are you going to be happy to get to next week?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Daytona.
There you go. Zach Sternhagen, driver of the 88 Black Rifle Coffee Lambo. Thanks for joining us, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
So there you go. We get to talk to the drivers if they are on pit road. Zach, geez, even when he has a bad day, he doesn't have a bad day. Always friendly and good to talk to him. Sorry, bad, but obviously not the way he wanted to finish it. But we'll be back out there when he's done. You see, Luis Grillion sitting fifth right now in the Red Bull Porsche.
5th out of 10 remaining GTE cars. We've still got 6 GT3 cars going at it. Everybody has kind of spaced themselves out, especially Luis Grillion. He's about 23 full seconds behind Vicaras, who is only about a second and a half away from Campbell for third.
Again, still lots of smashes, thrashes, and hits to go here tonight. As we reach the halfway point, you see the CRT machinist, Christian Vicaria.
Looks like Knight has caught back up to Walters for second in GT3. Way back in the field. That's a battle for 12th overall. That's the closest we've got on the track so far. Again, only 16 cars remaining. Some early carnage. Left 5 or 6 cars on pit road.
So Vizcarra not really in the point standings, as he's only made 2 races so far of the 4. But I'll tell you, Jordan, when he has been here, a runner-up finishing the opening race, and a 5th place result a couple weeks ago at the Red Bull Ring. You know, that's a pretty competitive couple runs against this field.
Yeah, he's doing all right so far. Could be definitely a contender if he made a full appearance for this series. We watched Trevor, again, a full 10 seconds back from Salazar. How do you put your head down and just keep going when you see that number keep getting bigger?
You just got to, I would say, race the racetrack. You know, you can only do so much. And, you know, just got to keep the thing out of trouble. And at any point, Salazar could falter. We've seen mistakes in the pits by guys. Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Salazar, Trevor, Campbell, Vicaras, the first 4 all down pit road, all at the same time. We'll see who can come out first. Remember, Salazar had a 10-second lead about another over Trevor, about another 5 seconds back to Campbell, and another 5 back to this Vicara. All 4 of them make their trip down pit road at the same time. Gonna be interested to see how those things check out. On the way back out, Salazar comes out in the lead. Grulian looks like he's going to take over second, staying on the track. Tyler Campbell looks like he's about to come out third. He does. Looks like Vicara came out in front of Trevor as well. He's going to lose a mess of spots on pit road.
Salazar, Grulian, Campbell, Vicaras, the running order.
And Alex Trevor took tires, just saw the car go down. He's off. He's going to come out in 5th now. See if that plays out.
Wow, we'll see if this is the call. Taking a set of rubber. Whoa, and he goes around on the cold tires. Into 1, so problem for Trevor. He's up and rolling now. Got the fresh buns on. But obviously went around before they get up to temperature. This is a tight corner.
Yeah, takes the right here on cold tires, just juices the gas, and he goes right around. You can watch the back end step out right here. But the good news is he got spun all the way around and got going again. He was going to have some time to make up either way. He's making it harder on himself, but he's still sitting in 5th. Didn't cost him any positions, and he's going to have to make up 30 seconds anyways. Here's Juan Salazar around. He's going to lose the lead to Grulian, as Grulian walks away by 4.5 seconds. Salazar back up and running. We watch this Grulian in the Red Bull car. And Salazar, obviously your leader in that black car. Clips the inside curbs. Out to the edge. And Juan Salazar just goes around. Bumps himself into the kitty litter. And it felt pushed out there.
Now, Grulian did go by. That being said, I do not believe Luis Grulian has been to pit road yet. So he's stretching this out. Grulian has not visited pit road. And hey, back to our leader in GT3, JP Alfonso. JP Alfonso Studios racing team.
And he's really walked away. He's got a full 10-second lead here on Walters. They still haven't made stops yet. Sanchez back down pit road. Looks like he's got a problem with that machine. D'Alessandro's on pit road. Hewitt's on pit road. Only 12 cars on the track right now.
So the herd has thinned. Here you see Christian Sanchez. Sanchez pulling back out. So this is going to be the battle to see, and it looks like he's going to come out well back of Walters. So
Yeah,
he overcut work.
That was his second time down pit road though. He's about 2 minutes back right now, and he did take tires this time around, as he's running 4th in GT3 right now. But Trevor took tires. Sanchez took tires. We saw Salazar go around all by himself. Like, is there a tire issue arising here?
I don't know. We're going to have to see how this works itself out. And there we see Sanchez with a couple pit stops.
Looks like Hewitt took a full tank of gas. Interesting move there. Knight took tires.
That looks like he had some damage as well. Or maybe it was just a full tank in tires. D'Alessandro lost about 12 spots on his exchange. He's
Alex
still
Trevor's
looking-
struggling. He's lost time 2 or 3 times in the last lap. Those tires should be up to heat now. As we watch him, he's running a full 10 seconds back from 5th place Fernando Jaquez.
He's about 40
And
seconds
looks
back.
like
Oh!
Alex Trevor's gonna peel off the racetrack and be towed back to the pits. It's only gonna leave 8 remaining GTE cars and another, I believe, 5 GT3s, maybe 6. Tyler Campbell now runs 3rd. He's got a couple seconds in front of him to Juan Salazar. Luis Grullion still hasn't made his pit stop. These look to be the early favorites here.
And Trevor got reports from out trackside. It was a right-hand bend. He rode it a little too high on exit, touched the grass, put it off the fence hard, and said, "Put this one on the business end of the hook, please."
Juan Salazar running 2nd, hunting down your leader, Luis Grullion, who does still need to pit. Less than a second here, and Salazar goes by way too easily. Looks like there's something wrong with Grullion. He might be out of gas. We're at 31 minutes here. Luis Grullion's going to get towed back to pit road. And Juan Salazar takes over the race lead once again. Campbell 2nd, Vicaras rounding out the top 3. We look at him now. He's a full 10 seconds behind Juan Salazar. And then another 30 seconds back to Fernando Jaquez. David Sharp 30 seconds behind him for the top 5. Back to JP Alfonso. What a clinic he is putting on tonight. He's distanced himself about 12.5 seconds ahead of Mark Walters. And this is probably the best race we have ever seen this man run in his 2nd series out here. We've seen him run this track a couple times. As he makes his way through the carousel, down Sternhagen straightaway. Putting on a clinic, full 14 seconds ahead of 2nd place Mark Walters. And just looking to keep this race mistake-free. How about Jorge Apex? Haven't talked a lot about him throughout this series. He runs 3rd in the GT3s. And he's got no pressure out back. Sanchez over a minute behind him.
I guess the answer to the age-old question, how many laps can you make that night in a GT3 car, is not 5, but just 4. Tough break for Grullion. There you see Stephen Knight, Texas driver, in the 79. Knight sitting 12th right now, 5th in class. And Knight in his Porsche missed race number 1, 6th in class, and finished 28th overall and 22nd overall at the Red Bull Ring and Monza. Right now, having a run, sitting 5th overall. There you see Campbell, 4.1 seconds back of your leader, Juan Salazar.
What's the thought process for Tyler Campbell here, sitting second? I mean, you're 4 seconds behind. You got lots of room out back. Do you go after Salazar here, or you just play it and keep it mistake-free?
Well, there you see Shifty Sim Racer, banging it off the wall, Jordan. He was one of the few cars running out there, but looks like he's going to get towed back to the pits on the business end of the hood. Grillion coming back out with some fuel on board that car. Campbell's got to go get him at this point. I think you're 10 minutes left. You're 4.2 seconds behind. If there was a time to go after him, now's the time. Vicaras 7.5 seconds back of that. I don't think he's going to run down either Campbell or Salazar unless one of them make a mistake here with about a lap and a half to go for these guys, or a lap and 2/3.
The big problem for Tyler Campbell is he's not going to come to you. Juan Salazar doesn't make mistakes. We haven't seen a whole lot of them out of him throughout these 2 series. So, I mean, got to make it happen yourself, of course. We move back here. This is a battle in GT3. This is Jorge Apex chasing down Mark Walters. About a second separates these two right now, maybe 20 car lengths, as they work their way through the GP portion of the track. Just 9 minutes remaining.
And how about Jorge Apex? Again, having a dynamite run here, 3rd in class. Ninth in class opening night, then finishes at 20th, 19th, and 16th overall last week. But keeping it between the curbs here today.
Stephen Knight has been reeling in Christian Sanchez for about the last half a lap here. He's pulled it down to about a half a second lead, maybe 6 car lengths as they work their way through these corners. Up in the hills here. And it looks like Christian Sanchez is going to move off to the side, duck down pit road. And Stephen Knight is going to take over sole possession of 4th place in class. Christian Sanchez having a rough night. Obviously, he's had a great series so far, but tonight has just not been nice to him.
Sanchez coming to pit road again, so not sure what the issue is with that Sanchez car.
He's been down pit road 3 times now, not having the night he was looking for. But he's guaranteed a top 6 in class, as he's one of only 6 remaining in the GT3 cars.
And oh my, we got a report from trackside. Looks like Sanchez bounced it off the Armco and was only able to limp it back to the pit. So that's the reason for that pit stop again for Sanchez. So a tough night. It's a good night to keep body men employed, that's for sure. Tough night on the pocketbooks of these virtual car owners replacing the virtual fenders, because a bunch of cars have bat parts tore off them. There's one guy who's kept it between the curbs, Tyler Campbell, out of Seattle. Last we checked in, he was 4.2 seconds behind the Florida Flash, Juan Salazar. 4.6 seconds back right now, so he's lost a little bit of time since we checked in with them a few minutes ago, but doesn't look like he's going the other way. Does not look like he is gaining on that BMW.
Campbell and Vicaras have been mistake-free so far. I mean, that's what you got to do to wind up with a podium out here. Salazar, we saw him have a spin earlier on, but with just 6 minutes remaining, he's been mistake-free aside from that.
There is Salazar. You can see Campbell. Campbell's closed it down here. He has got to within 3.1 seconds. Now the lead swells to 3.6 again. But, geez, maybe we counted Campbell out of this too soon, Jordan.
Well, it looks like they are going to get another full lap after this one's complete as they make their way down the final long straightaway here. Salazar and Campbell, kind of the only battle we've got left going on the track, and it is a 4.5 second split there. Aside from Kevin Ayers and David Sharp, we follow Fernando Jaquez now. He's back in fourth. Well established there. He's got 50 seconds behind him to the nearest car, and nobody in sight. Just running around right now.
So Jaquez, one of the Florida pilots. And that Red Bull Porsche up over the hill. And this place, Jordan, looks like a 8-minute roller coaster ride. Crazy hills. Direction changes.
8 minutes, 9.5, depending on who you are.
And Jaquez going by one car there.
D'Alessandro had a rough night. He's sitting 8th in class. Looks like he had an issue. He was up there 8th overall. He's dropped back to 13th. Kevin Ayers now in 6th. He's all over the back bumper of David Sharp. Our only battle on the racetrack right now. This for 5th overall. 5th in GTE. Kevin Ayers filling up those rear view mirrors. Sharp trying to get position for the next corner. Ayers is going to take a look to the left. With that bent spoiler. Going to have the advantage getting into this left-hander.
See what happens here. Ayers and Sharp. The Ferrari versus the Porsche.
Looks like Kevin Ayers with the straightaway speed is able to get out in front of David Sharp and start to pull away. He's increased that lead to over a second. Spaced it out, and he has sole possession of 5th place.
So we passed by Ayers on the fastest part of the racetrack. And again, he's got that yellow Ferrari up into 5th for Left Turn Only Motorsports.
And these cars are taking their the white flag right now. This is the battle again. The battle for 5th overall. David Sharp still sticking with Kevin Ayers, not letting him get too far away as they make their way through the Grand Prix portion. Back to Artie Mercedes. He sits 7th.
Fastest lap time on the day. 8.00. 8 minutes, no seconds. 0.29. That is Juan Salazar. And the shortest amount of time on pit road so far. Is Christian Vicara. So he did the best job on pit road here this evening. And you ride with David Sharp in the 96 machine. And Sharp Racing. He sits 6th. And trying to reel Kevin Ayers back in.
And don't look at the clock. We've still got about 5 minutes left here based off of where the leaders are at. Maybe 6 even. And Tyler Campbell has half the lead between him and Salazar in about the last half a lap.
Down to 2.5 seconds. That is the battle for the win. This is Sharp trying to get back by Ayers. lead down to 2.5 seconds overall. Salazar back to Campbell. As you ride with David Sharp in that Rothman Porsche.
How about JP Alfonso still having a stellar run? He's 24 seconds ahead of Apex here.
I think he put in some time this week on the sim. That's what it looks like. Alfonso's done a good job here this evening.
Got that setup running spectacularly. And this is really going to mix up the points. Your top two in points, Sanchez and Walters, are going to finish 5th and 6th overall. Obviously, the favorites coming into tonight, running 1-2 in points. And the night just hasn't gone their way for either of those two. As we watch Dominguez come across the stripe.
White flag in the air. Last lap.
And the lead is less than 2 seconds now.
It is a battle up front between Salazar and Campbell.
Oh, problem. Campbell to the lead. Salazar has an issue. Tyler Campbell takes over the lead with just a couple minutes left here. Less than a half a lap remaining. Campbell leading Salazar. Salazar still right there. Here's the issue. Salazar slides it up high. May have made slight contact with the wall. Bigger problem for him is watching that white Porsche get by.
So can the Florida Flash recover? Just a little error under braking for Salazar. It cost him the lead, but he's still right there. 0.6 of a second. We'll see what the champ can do with Campbell making his first run through the LATAM GP Series.
Salazar pushing every corner he can. There's about a second between these front two now as they make their way through the downhill portion. Only a few corners left. And by a few at this place, there's about 25 corners left.
Well, they're running out of them. Coming up on the main straightaway. Can Salazar get close enough to get the draft? That's the big question. This is what it's going to come down to. Can Salazar stay close enough here? He's pretty close, runs it wide. Oh, into the fence goes Salazar. And he might have just thrown it away right there.
Looks like he was pushing too hard. He knew he had nothing out back. So even if he trashed it right there, was hopefully going to be able to pull it to the line by himself.
Again, he's not done. 0.7 of a second. If he can stay close enough coming down this straightaway and get a little toe.
He's driving the wheels off that car right now. We have seen damaged cars make passes like this in the past, namely Alex Trevor's done it a couple of times.
But he's losing ground right now. It's up over a second.
Looks like he's too far back. He might have lost some straight line speed there. He's going to be over a second and a half back when they get to this next corner. As they finish off Sternhagen straightaway into the last couple corners. Right here, they're going to spit themselves back onto the Grand Prix portion of the track. Coming out of this corner here. And to the start-finish line, Tyler Campbell is going to win round 5.
Salazar flicks the lights, comes up 1.623 seconds back. Vicaras, 24 seconds behind him, then Sanchez. There's Vicaras. Who is going to come home third. And then we find Fernando Sanchez. Sanchez and that Red Bull Porsche, good run for the Florida driver. He comes back out onto the Grand Prix course and he'll flick the lights and salutes his virtual crew.
Kevin Ayers with a strong fourth place run this evening. Looks like he's going to bring it home in fifth. He's got a couple of corners left here after this long straightaway. Behind him, David Sharp in sixth.
It's a heck of a paint job on Ayers' car. You can see it says caution on the front, student driver, across the top of the windshield. But the only thing he's missing is one of those orange slow-moving vehicle pylons that are signs that you put on the back of John Deere's.
Well, see, he was worried that the yellow stripe wasn't going to be enough for the opponents, so he just made the whole car yellow. That's his rookie stripe right there. As he spits himself out onto the Grand Prix portion, he'll come up with a fifth-place finish. Strong run for him. David Sharp, immediately behind him, will bring it home in sixth. And Artie Mercedes will round out the remainder of your GTE cars on the lead lap.
There's Mercedes, and then we'll look back to JP Alfonso. This will help Ayers in points. He came into the night 12th. He'll probably pick up spots on Anthony James for sure. And could possibly some others who did not have good evenings. So we saw the fifth place finish for Ayers, Artie Mercedes. He came in tonight 15th in points. Going to wind up 7th here.
And how about GP Alfonso behind him? He's looking to bring it home here for his first win in the GT3 cars.
Should see JP next. His Porsche. And a great story, JP Alfonso. There he is. We got the chance to race with him at the 24-hour Nürburgring a few months ago. And JP'd never done a team race before that. So what he didn't realize is that you have to click the button that says you have to tear off a windshield screen. And I remember I was lucky enough to get in the car right after him and his 2-hour stint. And all of a sudden you're in the pitch black at Nürburgring. And you can't see for the oil and debris on the windshield. But anyways, we look past that now. JP Alfonso, congratulations. A feature win. Here's Steve Knight out of Texas in his green and purple Lambo. Number 79.
How about Alfonso? 7th, 4th, 5th, and now a win tonight. He's been consistently inside, definitely the top 10, being inside the top 5 the last few weeks. Could be a force to be reckoned with, especially with your leader and second place driver in points tonight not posting finishes. Alfonso gonna win that one. Apex, Knight, and Hewitt look like they're gonna finish out 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. D'Alessandro behind him.
So we've got those two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sanchez, 5th in class. Walter, 6th in class. Those were your top 2 guys in points. So JP Alfonso could find himself back in title contention with a legitimate shot heading to Daytona next week. And that was a place where last series in the spring, he had some success in our season opener there with a 6th place finish. So we'll see how that plays into it. And again, that track definitely, though, not as tough, not as technical, and not as hard on race cars as this place is. Stephen Knight, he's finally coming on to the long straightaway.
And 24 cars started. Only 15 of them finished, and only 12 of those on the lead lap. As Green Hell does it again, chews through a whole bunch of race cars.
Hey, we'll welcome in our feature winner while Andrew Hewitt's finishing up here. Tyler Campbell, what a run. We saw you for most of the second half of the race sitting 4 or 5 seconds behind Juan Salazar, and then finally he made that little mistake that you were waiting for and you pounced.
Yeah, it was a war of attrition. There is no doubt about it. I was really struggling trying to get clean practice this week, so I didn't really not have any confidence going into the race this week, which was why I didn't qualify. I was just trying to survive and ultimately got in a couple of close calls, but was able to keep it together and keep a clean car and not slide my tires too much. And I think that's ultimately what gave me the edge over Juan. He made just an amazing race, and unfortunately traffic kind of made made an enemy of him, and so his tires were pretty splutat, and so I just needed to slightly apply the pressure, continue, and then open the tap there at the end to try to just make sure I could concrete the wind.
Now, for the people that don't iRace, or the people that iRace that oval track race and have never tried this place before, how hard is it?
Well, it has a nickname of the Green Hell for good reason. It is one of the most dangerous tracks, if not the most dangerous track on the planet. And with the number of corners that are here, I mean, it's almost impossible to memorize the whole thing. So you're pretty much just flying by the seat of your pants and trying to think about the next coming corners while also trying to make sure that you're not waiting too late to brake, because you lose concentration for just an absolute split second. It doesn't matter what kind of car you're in, and it can result with you in the wall.
Hey, tell us about next weekend. You're obviously leading the points now going into Daytona.
Daytona, great track. It's just going to be a matter of making sure that I can kind of keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to have to dig deep with Alex this week and make sure that we've got a good set that'll bring us the win.
Perfect. Our feature winner, GTE, Tyler Campbell. Thanks for joining us. Now we'll welcome in second place finisher, Juan Salazar. Tell us about your evening, my friend.
A little frustrating. I'm happy I got second. Tyler had a great race. He did, did impeccable driving. Totally deserves the win, but yeah, a little frustrated with Lewis. He made an unnecessary pass. I don't know if you guys saw it, and I spun. So pretty much that took away a 10-second lead I had, and I was driving frustrated after that. So pretty much took myself out. But congrats to Tyler.
Yeah, it was you were holding the lead. We were watching that battle. The last couple laps, it was 4.5, 5 seconds. It looked like just again, this place is so hard to drive. People don't understand, and all you did looked like you clipped the curb at the wrong angle. You take us through the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just a millisecond of distraction. This track requires 100% concentration the whole way through. So just a little tiny lapse in concentration does that to you.
Hey, solid second place finish. You're still going to be second in points. We're off to Daytona, where I mean, you know your way around that place. It's almost your home track, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been there a few times. I really like it, and yeah, looking forward to it. I hope Alex and I get a redo from the last time we were there, and we get to compete against each other. I'm looking forward to that.
Juan Salazar, a solid second place finish here this evening. And we'll turn it over to Pablo to have a quick chat with Christian Sanchez, who should still be the point, or right in the point battle heading into next week.
Cristian, ¿me escuchas? ¿Me recibes?
And it looks like Christian has checked out. We'll see if Mark Walters has still got his ears on. Mark, can you hear us? Well, I think they've all shut the headsets off and went home. That will pretty much wrap it up from here. Now, you know what? We'll see if we got time for one more. We'll bring in a guy here who had a solid run here tonight. 5th place finish, came into tonight 12th in points, but this is going to help him climb the ladder. Kevin Ayers, tell us about your evening.
I'm a survivor, buddy. I'm a survivor today. That's all I was looking for.
It was that 24 hours of practice we did back here a couple months ago.
Yeah, I kept her pretty clean tonight. Had a couple little spins, didn't really hit anything, but outside of that, I was happy. I was just trying to survive. Didn't survive last season.
The whole kicker here is just to race the racetrack.
Yeah, spots started being given to me, so I'll take it. Just kept it on the track.
Hey, this will help you again. I know you didn't want to be 12th in points coming into today's race. You usually run a little better than that, but it looks like this is what it's going to take to climb yourself up the ladder. And I mean, you could even knock down a top 5 from here with another good performance next week at Daytona.
Yeah, I hope so. I had high hopes after finishing 5th in the last season, but I just had some, and it's been my fault. I've had mistakes on strictly my own through the first 3 races. The last race wasn't so bad, but the first few races I really hurt myself, and I'll see what I can do at Daytona and try to get up high as I can.
Tell us about going to the World Center of Speed.
I love Daytona. I mean, it's a fast track. I think everybody likes it there. It's just such an iconic track and not too hard to drive.
There you go. Kevin Ayers, a solid 5th place finish here this evening after starting 11th. And that'll about do it from Green Hell. We're at the Nürburgring. Lots of corners, lots of miles. One of the toughest places you will ever race. And this will pretty much wrap it up from here. I'd like to thank my broadcast partner, Jordan Maudsley, for joining me, as well as our producer, Pueblo. And, of course, I'd like to thank Heinz and Sergio for all they do for the series. Thanks again for joining us. LATAM GP, race number 5. Don't forget, next Thursday night, same bad time, same bad channel, 9 o'clock, our season finale from the World Center of Speed, just off the beach in Daytona International Speedway.